Stand out by becoming a purpose-driven brand.
By the way, take it into account how for a lot of businesses, even for us as individuals, it's important to build a business and brand awareness of our business. So I believe the next keynote will be also really, really beneficial to everyone who's watching. And in that case, please invite your friends to join us because Alexander Novicov, CEO at Way Boutique Agency, has a lot to share with you. So please give him a big hand.
Hi, thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you for having me. So today I'll share with you the importance, a couple of stories really, of why it's important to stand out and why it's important to create a purpose-driven brand. I'll start with my story first. My parents got divorced when I was very, very young. My mom moved from ex-USSR country to Cyprus. And a couple of years later, I moved as well. When I moved to Cyprus, I didn't really know Greek. I didn't speak English well. So I tried to fit in, like, really hard. Obviously, you want to make friends. You want to be part of the community. And the problem with that was that kids are mean, you know that. Like, they make fun of surnames, they make fun of accents, and I was really insecure. But at some point, I fit it in. I became Greek. I learned the language. And I was like, yeah, I made it. I'm Greek Cypriot. Then a couple of years later, well, 8 years ago, I moved to London. Now, London was the same thing. I was just a bit older. So I tried to fit in. I tried to become more British in a way, drink more tea. But again, I was just another brick in the wall because if you try to fit in, you don't really differentiate yourself. But the goal of a brand, the goal of differentiating yourself is standing up for what you believe, standing up for your values. So after a lot of therapy sessions, after a lot of self-development books, reading, seminars, I realized, you know what? Standing out by becoming yourself. Stand out by being Alexander Novikov. Don't stand out by trying to fit in. If we want to be memorable, we have to be different. We can't really be memorable if we're the same, when we're just another brick in the wall, right? Now, how do we become different? Well, we become different by aligning our actions with our values. Now, there's this one question that I'll ask you that you can figure out what are your values. You don't need to raise your hands, just answer in your mind. Would you rob a bank if no one knew? Like, these are your values. People that answered, obviously all of you that answered, you know the answer, that's your values. Now, how do we transfer that into brand purpose? And how do companies can learn from that? Well, there are 3 golden rules that are really important if a company wants to become memorable, if a company wants to differentiate, and become a purpose-driven brand. If we follow the 3 rules, we made it. So, number 1, get clear on your values. What do I mean by that? As you answered the question previously, you know what you stand for. But the key is to find one value that you want to stand up for. And by that, one value might be your company. You say, okay, I stand up for A, B, C, and that's it. This is my values. The second is use creativity to tell your story. Now, creativity can be used in lots of ways. A great example is there's a dating app called Thursday in England, and basically it works only on Thursday. So what they did is they put a sofa outside Liverpool Street Station, and the sofa, it was the sofa, a board, and the girl, Jessica. She's the marketing director of Thursday. And on the board, she wrote, "I just got dumped. Fancy a date?" And the picture went viral on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, and so on. That was a creative concept that didn't really cost much because all the furniture was from their office. And third is take action. Take action towards your values. For example, if you want to run an ultra marathon, you take the first step, you run 1 kilometer. Now, the question is that you need to ask yourself, we need to ask ourselves is, what do you stand up for? Like, what do you believe in? And a great campaign that Nike did a couple of years ago with Colin Kaepernick. Now, Colin at the time, he knelt during national anthem when the games were played. So he knelt basically against racial inequality and police brutality. So Nike came out with this campaign saying, believe in something if it means sacrificing everything. Now, once the campaign was launched, Nike stocks dropped by 3%. It was horrendous. Obviously, people started tweeting and hating Nike. They started putting their shoes on fire because obviously, no, we don't want that. Even Donald Trump tweeted his dismay about Nike's campaign, like, what were they thinking? But a couple of days later, Nike sales went up by 25%. What can we learn from that? Well, it's one basic lesson. If you stand up for something, regardless of what other people are saying, just go for it. Now, the question is, how can a small company, rather than Nike or Apple, do the same thing? Well, it's really, really simple. I wrote a book called Not Another Pair of Shoes. And the reason why I wrote it is because I want to help small companies differentiate and communicate their brand story. Because if you communicate your brand story, if you care about what you do, that's when basically magic happens. And Seth Godin, one of the marketing gurus in the world and one of my mentors, endorsed the book. And the reason he endorsed, I believe, is because once he read the book, he understood it's all about caring. Marketing is not about manipulating people and selling just another shoes. And nobody wants another pair of shoes. We all want something that means something to us. In 2014, one of my exes, she gave me a gift. But the gift wasn't just a gift. The whole process, the packaging was amazing. She put in effort, she put in an amazing presentation. And it's 8 years later, and I still remember, we're not together, but I still remember the feeling of that gift. It's because she cared and she gave me that gift. Companies. So there's a great example of this kombucha company that have a brand purpose. You can see on their website, you can see how they're passionate about what they do. Another great example is the Good Hotel, much more smaller company. 100% of the profits go to charity. Now, the founder, Martin, he went on a gap year. By the way, I didn't get the title, the pair of shoes from him, but I love the story. The story basically, he went on a gap year and he saw this girl that didn't have a pair of shoes, and he decided to buy a pair of Converse. So he bought a pair of Converse and he saw how one small gesture can make a huge positive impact. And then he started the Good Hotel and other brands. Another great company is Thank You. They sell food, they sell different products, and they want to end extreme poverty. So they stand up for something. So all these companies, they're on a smaller scale, but they believe in something that they're willing to sacrifice for. Now, somebody asked me a couple of weeks ago, like, who gives a crap about brand purpose? Like, do we really care? I was like, well, some people do. He said, well, I just want the toilet paper. Like, I don't care about brand purpose. I was like, well, I'm sure some people care about toilet paper, and there you go. There's a premium who gives a crap toilet paper. And they have a purpose. 50% of their profits goes to building better toilets, and if you want to dig deeper, find them online. Like, there's a huge story behind it. And together with their customers, they donated more than £5 million to date. That's incredible. That's just one toilet paper, right? There's so much data about purpose-driven companies and why it's so important. Now, I won't overwhelm you with data, but the most important number is that 80% of people that buy from a purpose-driven brand, they feel that they're part of that, they feel that they're making a difference. They feel they're part of that community. And that's a huge number, 80% of people. And 63% of people, when they are asked from where do they want to buy, they said they prefer a purpose-driven brand. Now, it's not for everyone, it's not every single customer, but the data doesn't lie. So what's the point of becoming a purpose-driven brand? Well, the point is, when you become a purpose-driven brand, people start caring. And people, when they start caring, they become loyal. And loyalty equals sales. When people start caring about your brand, about our brands, they spread the message to their friends, to their family. And it goes way beyond just selling a pair of shoes or selling just a product. It goes beyond just sales. We are making an impact. We are making a difference. Purpose-driven brands are making a difference. They're making an impact. So once we become purpose-driven brands, things start to change. People start to follow us for different reasons. Companies, people, celebrities, influencers. But we do have to stand up for something. We can't just say, okay, I stand up for this and that's it. We have to show that we care. And the way we show that we care is by becoming a purpose-driven brand. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. Please give it up once again to Alexander Novikov.